Hey everyone, what is going on? I decided to do a late night Star Trek Fleet Command stream, and I am almost done setting this up. Give me 1 second here. Copy that. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna click OK here. So looks like there's another Battle Pass season going on. I haven't played this game in some time, and looks like there's several events. There's the crew assembly and training for officers, heist preparation, finishing the fight armadas, and all new gauntlet event. You know what that says to me? It's all the same thing it was 2 weeks ago. So I'm actually going to take a look at some of the new officers. They were quite interesting to me, and I wanted to go over a couple of things with them. Star Trek, especially the new Mako. That is a very interesting officer that they decided to add. Let's see here. I have way too many windows open. Okay. And I'm not sure what's going on with Star Trek Fleet Command. Do. What is going on? Let's try that again. So I'm going to go ahead and try to load this up again. That was interesting that it just decided to crash all on its own. But, you know, it's Star Trek Fleet Command. Things happen. I'm wondering if anyone out there has played the new Eve Echoes. I did do a first look video earlier today on it. It looked really promising. It looks like it could be a ton of fun. But we really aren't for sure yet. So I'm going to do these help requests. I haven't even opened these crates for a super long time. So more missions to buy. I see that Scopely is kind of sticking to that plan. And we'll take a look at the battle pass and see what's in there. Alright, so let's head over to the refinery. It looks like there's a refinery bonus going on. $37 of each uncommon. It's not bad. 14 there. No uncommon gas there. And 14 crystal there. Not bad. That was like 51, 51, 37. And grab this box right here. So, if anything has really dramatically changed, definitely pop that down in the comments down below. I'm really curious if anything really has or not. It doesn't seem like it has. Seems like the Stella is still going on. Let's take a look at the battle pass. Alright, so it looks like some definitely good rewards. These are used to purchase items in the event store. Heist loot. That must be a new form of currency. So I'm curious if the rewards for the free version are dropping, because this didn't seem 5 gas didn't seem all that much, unless they're stacking near the end. 8. Let's count out the free stuff here. So 2 ore, 5 gas, and that's at 8 crystal. So that's about 15 ore. I'm just going to count up the ore to make it really simple here. About 43 ore so far. Yikes. 93 ore. Badges, which is really cool. Definitely seems like the uncommon has come down. That could just be me, but that has definitely seemed that that is going on. And I'm guessing that they're going to be putting more uncommons into the paid version of the Battle Pass, which is really typical of Scopely, to kind of move things around if something isn't selling into the paid version. Okay, so lots of events going on. The threat from beyond. Ever since I hit 33, I can't do it anymore. But no big deal. It was really grindy. And so these are the really interesting new crew members. I don't know who they are, and I've watched Star Trek ever since I was a kid, since about 1987. I started watching TNG when it first premiered, and none of these crew members I've ever heard of, and I'm a huge Star Trek geek. So the Goon one is is one I really want to pay close attention to and give a spotlight to in this video. So let's head over to the officers and take a look. Okay, group. All right. So his description is Liam says Yuri is the one you want. So his description is former Starfleet Mako veteran. Goon has seen his fair share of battles, the memories of which have stuck with him. Becoming disillusioned by Starfleet's perceived hypocrisy, in particular the actions displayed by Kirk and his ilk, Goon left Starfleet to use his considerable talents and arsenal elsewhere. Now acting as Mudd's weapon expert, always willing to give you a blunt and honest opinion, occasionally to his detriment. He's also the first person Mudd will call if he ever finds himself outgunned. So I'm really curious about this. Let me give you a little background to Starfleet Makos. Makos are the Military Assault Command Operations. It was a United Earth organization that existed as part of the United Earth military during the 2150s. So that's Archer time, not Kirk time. Prior to the founding of the Federation, the Makos were not associated with Starfleet. As of 2153, Mako tactics and technology were 2 to 3 years more advanced than those of Starfleet, but their combat expertise was initially limited to simulations conducted on Earth. The military officer overseeing the Makos was General Casey from Enterprise. And this goes on to explain some of the more famous Makos. And okay, so following the founding of the United Federation of Planets, shortly after 2150, the organization was disbanded, with personnel being offered Federation Starfleet commissions on a discretionary basis and possible offer commissions in other agencies in the Federation. The Federation Starfleet, just as with the United Earth predecessor, continued to distance itself from the notion of being a military organization, causing deep conflict for at least one Mako who donned a Starfleet uniform, which is from Star Trek Beyond. So, and then there is a timeline here, and it does only go up to 2161, where the Makos were involved in the ambush of kidnappers on Rigel 10 just prior to the formal treaty signing that created the United Federation of Planets. So we're talking about 2161. Kirk's time, we're talking about 100 years ahead of that. So I'm not sure what this is talking about. For one, Makos were human. The United Earth Starfleet was a human organization. It was only Earth. It's not the Federation. So the fact that this guy is an alien is really, really giving me something to pause about. And the fact that he was a former Starfleet Mako and having issues with Kirk as why he left doesn't make any sense. And it kind of goes to talk about the rest of these crew members. Like, who are they? None of their races existed. I think she might be... So Sesha... I actually tried to look her up, and all I could find was Seska from Voyager. So her description is a cunning, if somewhat scatterbrained member of the Outlaws crew. Sesha has spent most of her adult life being experimented on, which gave her an accelerated cell regeneration. Sesha is known for her emotional intelligence, outside-the-box thinking, and a disarming personality. However, some might say that her personality is a ruse, hiding a more conniving and manipulative mind underneath. So my question is she Orion? Is she Andorian? I'm assuming she's green, so that would not make her an Andorian. And so I'm really confused of, her race. What's her role? Where is she in Star Trek lore and canon? And as well as the rest of these. And that brings me to Mud. And I did a little bit of research on this because I was thinking about the Mud from Discovery. So this is the Mud from Discovery. Now, could he be in this game? Possibly. He wouldn't look like this, though. This is his younger version, unless there was some time travel being done. And this Mud right here, I guess he does look like a younger version of the TOS Mud. But I'm confused why there's two Harcourt Fenton Muds. That to me basically says there is either a reason, which I'm not aware of, or Scopely got really bored and created this guy first, and then CBS is like, yeah, you can use him, go ahead, and then put this guy into the game. Not really sure where this is coming from. Eurydice, she is... What is her race? Born into poverty by parents who abandoned her, Eurydice had to learn how to survive on her own from an early age, spending her early years as a pirate and scavenger. She quickly learned that knowing the right people can help you survive anywhere, as she became a black market arbiter, setting up sellers with buyers, specializing in ships and parts, and making making a living off the small profits she earned along the way. And Liam says it's to make up for the two, 2-1 Jayla's, but at least it's a different version of Jayla. Like, I get that. And Jayla was an actual character created in the J.J. Abrams universe. These crew don't exist anywhere in Star Trek lore. I've never known a Star Trek game to create new characters, because if you think about it, Star Trek has over 60 years of canon to draw upon. That is so much incredible content to use. There's so many different characters to use. And I mean, a lot of people had issues with bringing the Ferengi into the game because the Federation had not technically met the Ferengi at this time. I'm okay with that because the Ferengi are established in canon. But when you allow a company like Scopely to just randomly create whatever they want, this game is going to move away from being Star Trek. If this was Eva Vekos or Eve Echoes, I could understand that. There really is no canon there other than the game on the PC, and they can kind of roll with it and go for it. But if you're going to make a game from Star Trek or from DC or from Marvel, there's a reason you do it, because of the fan following, but you stick to the script. You always have to stick to the script. Them veering off and doing this, I have no idea what's going on, or even what this game is anymore. Being a huge Star Trek fan, I have a huge issue with all of this right here. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole too much, because I definitely want to keep it positive in this video. With that being said, what is everyone thinking about the current content in the game? How are they feeling with the progress in the game? I'm really curious to know. I haven't been playing this game, as you can see. My resources are down. I'm unshielded. If somebody wants to come hit me, they can, by all means, come hit me. I am going to be working on a couple of refresher videos that I've done in the past that people have liked, like the beginner's guide, as well as some base rating videos, and possibly some crew guides, crew setups. You can definitely bet I won't be using those non-existent crew members that don't belong in this game. Yeah, I'm still going to be creating content for this game, but there's so many games hitting the market right now. It's just crazy. And I actually have to thank one of the I don't know if this gentleman is a subscriber, but he was actually his comment actually made me think. Like, whenever people leave me a comment, this is always why I'm like, leave me a comment, because I actually do read them, and I actually do take them to heart. If I don't respond to them, just know that I am reading them. But he took note of my tone in one of my last Star Trek Fleet Command videos. And you can tell my tone here. It was much more aggressive, though, because it was pretty obvious after doing these videos for about 2 years. You guys know my personality. I'm usually a very go with the flow, happy, friendly kind of person. But I was not feeling it. I was getting really bogged down with the game. For me, it was, the game content. It was the spending I was doing. I was spending $500 a month again. And really it was, a lot of my friends who I had enjoyed this game with, they left the game for one reason or another. And I found myself really missing that camaraderie. And I don't want to say that with the exception of Server 32. Server 32, the people over there in the Psi Alliance who may be watching this video or not, they are probably some of the best people around. I didn't really talk to them that much. I tried to be as social as possible because I was running 2 different servers. And I finally told them that I was kind of stepping down from the game on Server 32, but they were such a good group of people, and they have been gaming together for a very long time. kudos to the people on server 2. They may get really upset with one another, but they don't run people off their server the way server 12 does. Server 12 has become um no, how am I going to say this? Passive aggressively toxic. It's basically, if you don't play by our rules, then we're going to nonstop kill you until you quit the game. And it's because, there's all these rules that they have set up, and it's really important for them to follow them. And if you don't follow them, then you're not part of the club, and you need to quit playing this game. And and when I talk to the people on server 12 about this, they don't see it. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the crazy one. But then in the next breath, they go, God, it's boring. God, where are all the new players? I'm like, why do you want new players if you're just going to run them off the server if they don't fit into your box? And I think that was kind of my takeaway from server 12, and really what took me away from the game is, when we come to this game, we want to have fun. And the diplomacy is just, I'm still in the diplomacy server, and I just get a laugh or two. It's just crazy. And so, with that being said, that's one of the big reasons I've kind of took a step back from Star Trek Fleet Command. I still want to make videos. I still want to support the community. I think that's really important to me. However, that's why you're definitely seeing a huge mix of game videos going up, because I really want my channel to kind of be more of a hub of gaming news and other games, and just having fun, checking things out. And if I totally suck at a game, I want you guys to make fun of me. I mean, not rudely or anything, but to have fun with it. And I really, guys want you to participate in it, because I have been working my butt off on creating some things in the background, and it's been exhausting. It's like I do my day job, and then I do YouTube stuff all night long. I've been doing YouTube stuff for 5.5 hours tonight. So I'm definitely putting some changes forward. But, at the same time, I will still come back every so often, support Star Trek Fleet Command as long as the demand is there. I notice the demand is there is when you leave Star Trek Fleet Command questions in other videos, which means if you were that individual who was asking about the jellyfish blueprints, I am definitely going to be answering that question in the update to my beginner's guide video. I gotta actually do a little bit of digging, because that has changed so many times. So I'll have to do a little brainstorming with some STFC friends. But other than that, if you do have any feedback for me, if you have anything to say, if you want to say you didn't like this video, this live stream was absolutely horrible, definitely put that down below. If you liked it, and you're like, hey, check out this game, I actually do look at those games. Send me some Steam suggestions. I love Steam. I think it's such an amazing platform. I've been having a ton of fun with it. Really looking for those free-to-play games, and then there's also some games that cost money that I'm going to be doing videos, and have already done videos on. So, other than that, I hope everyone is taking care of themselves. I hope everyone is being kind to one another. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Take care, and I will talk to everyone later.